As Dr. Mark says, I'm invited to give some words regarding education in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Democratic Republic of Congo is one of the 55 countries in Africa. The Democratic Republic of Congo is located in the middle of Africa. We give to this country an opportunity to be in contact with the north, the south, the east, and the west of Africa. And from the Democratic Republic of Congo, with the citizen, we think that if we want the Africa going ahead, the Congo have to be one of the part of African countries to be the best of one. Why the best? Because we have all the capacity to be one of the best country. We have the people, 70 million inhabitants. We have 60% of our population is less than 30 years old. We have the land, one big land, 2,345,000 square meters. We have all kinds of mineral resources that you can find in the world. We have the second forest in the world after the Amazon. So everything with us, we have the best climate, sun, raining, we have river, we have mountains. So everything is there to give to the Africa one of the important of the country around the world in the future. So today we are here to talk about the education. But before that, let me tell you Happy New Year for the 2015 for all of you, and especially to Dr. Mark, who have the opportunity to give the Africa a part of small time, what we can say on Africa. Thank you for that. The education in Africa, and especially in Congo, is, I can say, the result of the colonization. We had traditional education in Africa. From that, we saw that is no way to develop our country as the world is growing up. So we took part of the system of education from the colonization. So as a country like another country, we have the primary school who begins at 6 years old until the 12 years old, like here, like everywhere, where we learn how to write, where we learn alphabet, the normal alphabet, where we learn the numbers, how to count, like everywhere in a part of the world. So it's like a European education. The Congo have almost the same program as the Belgium country, who was the colonizer. This program fits to us very well. We don't have to change a lot. We just change and add some physical education, the way that the country think is the best. And we had civil education to give to our young population the story of our country, the story of Africa, and so on. And then after the primary school, we have secondary school. On secondary school, we have to learn geography, history around the world, all the world, physical, geometries, geology, and a beginning of chemistry and physics. After the secondary school, so now the children who got a special diploma, we call state diploma. From the state diploma, you have to go now to the option, or you're going to professional education to learn what you want to do, professional métier. And after that, you have a choice to go to the university. In Congo, we have 3 state universities. The why state university? Because all the finance is held by the government. The government pay all the scholarship. The government pay all the teacher and all the housing and for the students. We have also a special program who is indicated by UNESCO. Because the Congo has part of UNESCO, we have to follow also the rules from the UNESCO. And from the UNESCO, we have a special program between 15 and 4 years old young people, where they have to learn how to travel, how to be in touch with around the world, how to speak another language than the French. For example, English, Italian, and some Swahili, who is an African language, but who is now most people like to learn Swahili. So, for my government to have enough money to build all those education system, they have to sell some of our natural researchers. So they will have money to build a school, to build the campus, to build university. For the moment, we just sell our natural researchers on grow materials because we don't have enough capacity to have industrialization. We tried to have it only since 10 years old, but it's not enough now to have the best product on our industries. Regarding the government way, we have 3 departments, 3 ministries who take care of education, to give you the importance that my country now is giving on education. We have a special ministry for primary school. We have a special ministry for secondary school, and we have the big one for university and research matters. All of these 3 departments take around 23% of our national budget, who is a good example regarding most of countries in Africa. So I will make my most speech on the Department for Higher and University, who is not the less important than the previous one, but is the level where people can have the capacity to help after for the growth of the countries. Because without the university program, we will not be able to build our own roads, to build our own industries, to make the transformation from our agricultural product to the good product who can be sold and exported. The Democratic Republic of Congo has 3 universities, as I said before, and also a lot of private schools. To educate a people is educate as many women as possible who have not been able to access to the normal education. As the former minister said, to educate women is to educate the family and to educate the society. We understand that, and in Congo, most of our inhabitants is the women. So we have now to focus a lot of our money, a lot of our knowledge on the education of women. but it's not still easy because most of our women, they want also just to be a mother in their society, to go to school. They think that sometimes is losing time because they want to give more the basic education to the child. But we explain to them that it's not enough. You can do both. To learn more on the university level will give you more possibility to do the best of you can do for the country. We have also a special department for young people and sports. And the sport is one of our departments to give to our young people the good thing so they cannot be the, how you say it?
Disillusioned, unproductive.
Without going to give time more to drinking alcohol or drugs or something like that, yeah. So it's from the sport that we think that people, they are very occupied. Those young people can do, they have a good spirit and not time to go only to use the drugs or weapons to try to make conflict, to have something for themselves. So now let's see what can be the major pathways as a solution for our young people from the primary school, from the secondary school, and from the university. For different reasons, some after the primary school, they think that they are not able as intelligent to go to the secondary school. So what they can do at this level? The country have to find one solution for them, like to give them opportunity to learn how to grow food on the farm, yeah, how to create some center for most young people and be used as from the 12 years to the 15 years. The primary education leads to the achievement of certificate of primary study. With this primary study, you cannot go to work, but you can be used as a young person to help on the farm yard, to help on the agriculture sector. With the secondary pathway, which include the long cycle and the technical cycle, and takes 6 years, leading to the state diploma that is diplôme d'état. Without the diplôme d'état, you cannot find any job in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The diplôme d'état is like a bachelor degrees. But sometimes we have a special diploma also for the university, which include the first degree step of 3 years. After 3 years of university, you have the one we said that a graduate level. After the graduate level, you can go to the license. And then after the license, you have now the possibility to make a PhD like everywhere in the world. Some problems of education and development of youth in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The first problem of most of the people is the poverty. You know that in Africa, we have to face this problem, and we have to talk about that so we can see what kind of solution to reduce the poverty in our population. The poverty of the population have been and continue to be a major obstacle in the educational process for a number of African countries, including the DRC, my country. The social factor brought up some behavior against the school from parents who should and must pay for their children's education fees. Here, I have to say that this fees is not to pay the school. No, it's not. It's only some fees to give to the child for transportation, to give to the child for feed during the day. Even for that, it's still a big problem on many families in Africa. The poverty factor produced the shorting phenomenon among children by promoting the education of boys rather than girls. Because of less money, in the family where you have 3 girls or 3 boys, the parents will give more to the boys than to the girl. But we are trying to show them that that's not correct. All of the children have the same right for education. The other problem that we have is the Congolese education system is affected by diverse interaction from subsystems made by the political problem, and also multiple conflicts experienced in the Democratic Republic Congo in the past. These kind of problems usually arrive quickly but take time to be settled at the level of education, give to the nature of education and its environment in the past conflict country, where trust is rebuilt, mourning is completely finished, and reconciliation advances slowly. During 10 years, at least, we have very critical political situation and conflict also. And during this time, you can understand that all the budget going to have the peace and less to the education and less to the health. And during this period, most of the school cannot face all the education of the children. But now, some plans for solution to education and development of youth in the Democratic Republic of Congo and its challenges. To have a sustainable education, what we have to do. That's one of the priorities in our government. First, we need a political stability. The political stability is the basis of everything, and fortunately, it's returned since a few years in the Democratic Republic of Congo in this basis. We can rebuild both the education system and the development of youth, which represented our today's hope and hope for tomorrow as well. Political institutions are now stable. Democratic elections are a reality, and we are at the second presidential election since 2011. And we are moving slowly to the third without any major problems. The consequence is that the state has the time, means, and opportunity to rebuild and build even in the area of education and the young. The second priority is the reduction of poverty for the population. The effects of political stability for more than a decade are manifested within the population by the construction of basic infrastructure, the redistribution of wealth from the state, the raise of minimum wage, with favor has less police and administrative. The stability is making easy for doing business. This has solved. The fiscal year, the government allocated $253 million for the construction and rehabilitation of 1,000 schools. These schools are built in the province area, very, very from the capital, to give all the citizens the possibility to go to the primary school and to go to the secondary school. This is only the first bet. Others will follow. A program of rehabilitation of universities is set up, and with this program, the largest university in the country has been restored. I can let you know that in the 1970s to the 1990s, one of our best universities in the capital was one of the best in Africa sub-Saharan. You can see that all the Africans, West African and even the South African young people attend this university, just to give you an image that importance that we can have on our universities. A program of rehabilitation is on the way, and others are in progress. The government has also decided to coach young by offering sports facilities across the country, and this program is still running. It is true that the state, whatever is still, will not be able to do everything alone. That is why it is always advocated the involvement of commitment of the private and non-government and other organizations. We have also part of the Millennium Development Goals. We're working on that because we think that if one of African countries cannot achieve the Millennium Development Goals, it will give all the international community some difficulties. We cannot accept the difference between a developing country and African country. We cannot now still continue to live on the poverty, and all the European country or Occidental country or Asian country going ahead, and Africa still every time at the last. The Millennium Goal for the development is a priority for the Congolese government in all areas, and particularly in the field of education. Without education, nobody will understand what is the Millennium Development Goal. Primary education, and also the promotion of gender equality and the empowerment of women through the education. We have also some way to adaptation of programs. The efforts are currently underway to achieve programs that will take into account the needs of society at local and international level, and the technological development and the available research as well. Computerization of general certificate for secondary education examination. Maybe you will think that is not important to talk about that because on your country is done already. But like in Congo, it's only since 2013 that the exam result can be on the website, and the computerization can be made by internet, as we can make it in another country. At the end of secondary school, tests are organized on national territory in all sections or disciplines during 3 days. These examinations are called state examination, the equivalent of general certificate for secondary education. If a student passes this test, then he or she will be given a certificate mentioning the end of secondary school, and this certificate gives the student access to the university in the Congo or in another country where he will be able to go. But in recent years, there has been the introduction of IT in management of the process from conception to publication of the result, as I just tell you 3 minutes ago. The new method allows the management team to publish the result of state examination online within 2 weeks after the end of those examinations. This is a great achievement when considering that this process could take more than 6 months. Sometimes areas or results were accumulated. The DRC, as I told you, is a very, very big country. And sometimes you don't have the road to achieve all the results to the capital so it can be accounted. That's why it was a necessary time to make it by internet. The enrollment of girls compared to boys. Several times in the past, most of the parents tended to educate more boys than girls. Hence, the number of girls admitted in education turned out to be lower than that of boys. This is mainly due to general cultural views which did not give advantage to women. Indeed, the disparity which is referred varies with different levels of education. At the nursery or primary education level, attendance rates are higher for girls than for boys. The gender gap was equal, 1 in 2011 to 2012. And in terms of the disparity between provinces, the difference between Kinshasa, the state city, and other provinces is enormous. The gross enrollment rate is 11% in Kinshasa, while it's less than 3% in the province. In primary education, the number of girls admitted in the first years is less than the number of boys. The gross intake rate was 100% for girls against 101 for boys. It goes in the same fashion for the gross enrollment rate, which is 80% for boys against 82% for girls, with a parity indicator for gender equal to 0.9. In secondary education, the disparities of access between girls and boys are even more pronounced. The gross enrollment rates are recording at 30% against 53%, giving a parity indicator of 0.6 between the two sexes. We note also that in the cities, girls are more educated than in countrysides. To carry out this struggle for parity, girls and boys, the Ministry of Primary and Secondary and Vocational Education organized an awareness campaign for parents and communities which set measures to encourage the education of girls. All those initiatives, without any doubt, led in the past to a real increase in the rate of girls in school. To conclude, we can say that as the Democratic Republic of Congo, many post-conflict African countries are experiencing serious difficulties in ensuring a good education and necessary development of youth. The DRC, the experience this situation in the country is trying hard to get out of this abyss, hopefully with assistance of international community. That's why we still have a lot of embassies around the world. That's why we still attend all the opportunity where we can ask the international community to come to help us, to come to give us some knowledge, to assist us on our big program to achieve the Millennium Development Goals. Distinguished guests, all the participants, I thank you very much. I'm still with you at the end of the day. If you have some question, I'm very happy to answer on that. And I provide also some copies of my speech, so you can have time to read it and to see if some word was not good pronounced because of my French language, but I think that I try to do my best for all the participants at the ICD Cultural Institute. Thank you very much.